All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So it's been a minute and I apologize. I had like all these grand plans to post some content this month and I had an unexpected job change that has come up this month and I just haven't been in a headspace or desire to make a video until now. I figure with it getting to the end of June and the start of July, and I'm starting to see these videos pop up as well, that it is time for a mid-year techo kaigi video where we chat about the planners and journals that I've used this year and what I am going into the rest of the year with. So um, I am planning on, I have to catch up a little bit on making planner update videos. Those are going to be available for patrons. I am starting to work that up. So if you kind of want to see on a month-to-month basis what I'm using, um, I'll have a link to my Patreon there. But yeah, there's been a Hobonichi cousin. There almost was a Sterling Ink common planner, the like Avec common planner. Um, there was an A6 bullet journal. There was an A6 techo. There was a day-free A6 at one point. Um, and then like TNs. And then my recent experiment, actually at the start of this month, was a pocket bullet journal that I was so excited to move into. And then when everything just changed, it felt like I needed to make a change as well and kind of simplify things. I really haven't been in the mood to have like more than one books, especially like planner stuff. Um, and dated, like the dated book situation as well. I really just feel like I just need one dated book. And yeah, so as you can see, the TN has been a big theme, and the passport, as well as the field notes. These are the three things. This is a little unboxing. Once I explain this, then we'll go into this at some point. So I'm going to put this off to the side for now. Um, if you are on Patreon, I highly recommend a creator, Rachel Steven. If you want to see like her bullet journal content from a couple years ago, maybe like 3 years ago now, I have been inspired by her bullet journal content. She is one of my, like, probably my favorite bullet journal YouTuber, even though that's not really her full um, offering and of what she does, but she did like a full year where like every month she posted her bullet journal in her system, and her system is, I would say, function first, but there are creative elements, and aesthetically it is like minimal, but it's um aesthetically pleasing. Like there's pictures in there. She's not making full spreads and art in there, but there are elements of it through like photos and stuff like that. um she doesn't post like public YouTube videos anymore. But if you are a subscriber of hers or a patron of hers on Patreon, I forget if it's just the field notes or you have to be on the periodical. I'm on the periodical tier. And I've seen Plan With Me. She's been doing plan with me's over there recently. Most notably, she decided to move into a traveler's notebook, which is really cool to see. Listening to her talk about it, you can really tell that with all of her projects and everything, having one dedicated book is just so much nicer than having, the bullet journal and having to reset things up all the time. And then having a million different notebooks that you have to carry around for each specific project when you might not necessarily need a full, like low term notebook. So I guess with the change and everything going on, I just really felt the desire to simplify. And so I went, this was probably like a week into the month of June. I can give you an exact date because I started my daily. So I guess like a week and a half into it, and I came downstairs and I was like, you know what? I want to test this out being in a traveler's notebook as my like planner journal project thing. So I currently have 3 inserts plus like a few little accessories in here. And this I'm calling like my main book. So like my planner and journal, I would say. And the only thing that I'm keeping separate, and I guess we'll go over this quickly, is my like I'm calling this my adventure log and like I guess like memory keeper. I've kind of come to the realization that I thought I wanted to memory keep in something bigger, like the daily page of the Hobonichi cousin or in a TN, and it's really just not feasible because for the most part, when I, especially like if it's travel oriented, this can fit, either one of these can fit in my bag really well. This trip to Naples that I took really solidified that this is a great size. Like I'm able to put stickers in there and I'm able to print things off. And so I've really taken it. I was at Grandpa's Cheese Barn, and so I'm going to write a little bit about that. But I'm also like, so this is obviously, I'm not on vacation. This is local to me. And so I'm able to write, I'm using my Canon Ivy actually a little bit more to just print out if there's a food item that I really liked and I took a picture of, just being able to print it out and then write a bit about it. And then if I go to a certain place and I get a sticker, pasting it in. We went to Buc-ee's, this was the trip portion, but then trying to use it for other things. I'm also thinking of putting my review cards in there, so I think I have them in here. So yeah, so these are this one is from Lindsay's Scribbles. This is just the generic review card, and I like it because it doesn't matter if it's a movie or a restaurant or like a TV show. It doesn't matter. I can tailor it to whatever I want to review, and then I can stick it in here. So my hope is that I can stick it in here, and then I'll have enough room to put like because this will be like my review of it, but then if I want to put like a summary of the show or the movie or whatever, I can do that as well. And then these are my hockey review cards that I've made, and so I can just put um, both teams lines there, and then usually down here I will put um, like the outcome, the score, and then there's usually like 3 stars of the game. And so I can write that information there so I can see it. What was I going to say about this? The other thing I can do is once I paste it in here, what's been really fun as well, and I did this in actually my other journal, and I think I would have room probably at the bottom or somewhere, is if the game goes to a shootout, I used the like orange or red dot marker and the green dot marker, and I like put a dot if it was like a success or a failure, and then I put the name of the person who attempted it. So then you could see that information, things like who got goals and assists, like other notes. So just like having that to put in there. I think going forward, so I have basically like I'm gonna use what I have, and it'll kind of be determined based on what I want to use. If I want to use a field notes, I have like 3 other field notes that I can choose from, and I have probably like 3 or 4 traveler's notebook inserts. I have a feeling it's going to be like if I want a wallet, I'm gonna go with this. So this will probably be more like for hockey season, honestly, because most of the time like I do carpool with other people, so I don't have my usual keys wallet with me, and this I can put my cards and stuff in the back. So honestly, this will probably be the thing that I will take with me to hockey games, and during hockey season I'll probably be more in passport. But then honestly, like if I'm on vacation, this fits way better into my bag, and it leaves room if I do need to have keys and stuff. So honestly, like probably for the summer, um, I just started picking this back up. Like this goes from like this was end of February into March. This was like probably the first couple days of March, and then I haven't picked it up since. Like I picked it up in the middle of March once to write this little blurb, um, but I haven't really picked it up again since the end of May. So we'll see how long this notebook lasts me. I'm almost halfway through, so, and I'm not really sure with everything going on, like my travel situation. It's probably not going to be a big trip like what I started this with, um, but we'll see. So that this is like the memory keeper adventure log side of it. So because I have this portable setup, I don't need to worry about having it in my main book, and I can focus on the things that I have realized that I would like to have accessible, and that is of vertical weeks. I really have been liking time blocking and vertical weeks, a bullet journal, and a regular like long form journal where I can just come in and write freely. Use like this is more like using stickers, that type of journaling. Probably honestly not really gonna show much on here just because I'm kind of letting myself, especially with everything going on, making it be a little bit more personal, letting myself reflect and vent and do whatever I need. So let's just go through it. So this is the to and fro, and I just have it wrapped around the whole thing, and it's basically just been like these are like essential cards. Like these are the cards that they give you for um appointments, so like the dentist and that the eye doctor. These are my health insurance cards, and then I also have in here, I'm not really sure, I probably will put something else here eventually. These are the cards that I made that are the size of the photos. So if I want to, write something but I need room for the photos, I can mark where they would be. And then I'm honestly throwing things like save the date type things that fit in here, just so if I want to take a look at flyers and posters and stuff like that, I can do that. And I'll just go quickly over to the other side. It's just a bunch of miscellaneous stickers that I want access to. So I have the Planner Monkey Co., the like typewriter stickers. These are from the Coffee Monsters Co. This morning, afternoon, evening. And then I just have the emoji stickers. I figure, I'm not really using them, so having them there might be helpful. And then, yeah, we'll go into the first insert. So this is the undated Vertical Weekly. I'll link which number, I forget which number it is. But I used this at the end of 2025, like around, this probably would have been like, is this like October? Yeah, this would have been October into November. And I really liked using that, and I figure like eventually, this will be helpful to see kind of what style vertical weeks I would like. This was last week. Yeah, I started in here. Oh wait, this was last week. And I'm kind of just like keeping it simple, stickering it, like whatever I'm interested in. I might go back to like this style with the highlighters eventually, but right now I'm just not really in the mood to, so I'm just like filling it out as I need to, calendar blocking, that kind of thing. And then I'm just going to keep setting up, because that's where the traveler's notebook part will come in. Let's just do it now. I've been going back and forth between the Sterling Ink Vertical Weekly and the Travelers Company Vertical Weekly, and I think, well, I saw that Travelers Company had the second half of the year and Sterling Ink did not, and I thought, you know what, this would be a good opportunity, give me a chance. It's just 6 months. I would just be using it for 6 months, and then, like, honestly, like, I would think about it. I would have like 2 full months to test it out, see if this is what I would want to be in. If I would prefer the Sterling Ink, I would purchase that in September. If not, I can wait and purchase it with the rest of my Traveler's Notebook stuff in October. So it's fine. But for now, I saw the Travelers had them, and so yeah, this is from Travelers Company USA. And I did pick up a few other inserts. Figured while I'm here, and I remembered that some of them are dot grid, and so I got really excited because I really want to be in like a dot grid bullet journal again. So I ended up doing, oh, did I get another? I was really hoping I would get another Traveler's Time. I love reading these so much. That's exciting. Take that out of there. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Oh, I love, 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 love. I love reading these so much. They make... Okay, that's awesome. Okay, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to read this. I love hearing how people use their traveler's notebook. Like, it's just so interesting to me. And then this is so cool. Oh my gosh, I love this photo. That's awesome. I just love the traveler's notebook aesthetic and like what they stand for and everything. So yeah, these are the inserts I picked up. So this was the main reason why I picked up this order. This is the dated vertical weeks, so I figured, so I didn't show you all of it, but my thought process is, oh good, I get the traveler's guide, awesome. So in here, you do get the year at a glance. Then you get a little extra room here, which I'm super, super excited about. And I'm thinking of using this. If you see Rachel Stevens, she makes this kind of thing by hand quarterly by the seasons. It's not by the seasons completely with this, but that's okay. There's still like the space and the concept. And if you saw in, let's see, in here, you might have seen it a little bit, but I'm starting to have a future log here. So that's my goal, is to move into here my future log, because I don't like setting up the future log in the bullet journal. Like, I don't like setting it up all the time like you do sometimes with bullet journaling. So my thought is I would use this as my future log, and then I would only have to set it up like twice a year essentially. So, and then it goes right into the weeklies, which I really, really like. I've used this before, more memory keeping. And so my thought is this is going to be a combination. So in the past, it had been more memory keeping. And now this is going to shift into a little bit of both, where it's logging, it's planning and logging, I guess is like the technical terms for it that I like to use. And I would be planning my week more so with like a pilot friction. And then basically I would then come in with like stickers and stuff as the week progresses, stickers, highlighters, and kind of mark in what actually happened. If things need to be changed, they can be changed, but kind of then it becomes, as the week progresses, a memory keeping spread. So that's my thought with that. So yeah, this is the main reason. And then I figured while I'm here, might as well pick up some US exclusive. So I really like this because it is dot grid. I have used this in the past. I used this last year. I finished it up. I used it for a trip and then I finished it up. And it is like 5mm dot grid. It's also like cream paper, which I really like as well. And I just really want to be in a 5mm dot grid bullet journal. And so I figured this would be a great insert to pick up, knowing that it is dot grid. The only thing I'm a tad bummed about is that I can only, like the back, I probably would put stickers on. And even then, like the texture of it, I'm not sure. I really have been enjoying stickering and using die cut stickers on here, but that's okay. That's a bonus. That's not anything that we need to do, you know. And then these, I figure, you know, I really like these. I had this and then I sold it because I thought I wasn't in Passport, and then I changed my mind. So I figure these will be good to have on hand to be that adventure log, especially like if it is around the time that I am going on a road trip. Yeah, so this one's like cream paper and it's blank. And then the other one is so this is the road trip USA exclusive. And then the other one is the record they had with, this is, I'm not sure like the exact collaboration. I'll have to look them up and I'll link them. But ooh, the texture is different. I don't know how to, it's more like not plasticky, but it's a different texture than like the papery feel. If that makes sense. So yeah, this is the other one. I think this is the dot. Yeah, this is the dot grid. And this one seems to be a little bit on the lighter side. But yeah, I'm excited to use these. I think these will be great additions and great to put like on my shelf. Yeah, I think my plan for these, since like I can't really use the traveler's binders, because if I am going back and forth between field notes and passport size notebooks, I'm honestly thinking of either getting like the box that field notes has for these, like for the field notes, or like just finding a place on my shelf for all of these. So that'll be a later thing to think of, but yeah. So yeah, that's my plan with the like the Travelers, the Vertical Weeks insert, and that's why I purchased that. I'm actually going to put this in. So the next thing I have wrapped around my bullet journal insert is one of these this is the card holder. I'll try and link everything in there. And I thought somewhere I had space. You know what? I'm going to take these out. I'm going to put that in there because I love that. That's so cool. I feel like this is Job because Job works for them. I feel like this is the picture he would take. So that's really cool. I'm going to stick these in here actually for now, and we'll see if I remember to use them now that they're there. But yeah, so I just kind of make this decorative / little functional. I really should find, I don't even know where the monthly calendar, actually I should have the one from the Sterling ink. All right, so once again, I have ran out of storage, so I'm going to kind of go through this quite quickly. So this is my bullet journal. I'm currently using the grid notebook from Travelers Company that I will list in the description because I cannot remember what number this is either. And I've just used a combination. I really have been enjoying using stickers, these die cut stickers in my collection, and finally giving them a chance to be used. So in here, I do have my date stickers from Randy.plans. And then I'm basically doing monthly setups. Like I am focusing on monthly, weekly, or honestly, monthly and daily in here. So I will get a photo. I gotta find where my photos are and just paste one in here. And then I am using this spread. This is very heavily inspired by Rachel Stephen and the bullet journal method. It uses that, but it goes over 2 pages. We have my habit tracker, symptom period tracker, steps tracker, kind of filling in as the dates go on. I need to kind of fill this in. Domain, focus, like what's going on. This is for teaching, to log like teaching and all that stuff. Then we have what's going on. And then instead of doing like weekly tasks, I'm only doing a monthly task list since there is so much room. And if I need more, I can just add in a post-it note and just put that in there. And then it's basically just daily logs. And that is pretty much it. Like that's going to be like basically bullet journal monthly and daily focus. This is going to be weekly and future log focus with some like collections, maybe we'll see. And then we basically have my everyday journal, which originally was memory keeping, like extra memory keeping, but it's kind of changed. I was going to do a day per page in May and I fell off and ended up going back to the cousin. And then, yeah, basically, I don't really know if there's any spread that I really want to show. I guess this one I could kind of show of like what I did, where I'm kind of like sticking stuff in, stickers. It's mostly sticker focus with writing. So yeah, this is the Yoseka special edition. I have a Serica Studio cover on it because I do really like this cover and I really want to protect it. And then yeah, that is pretty much it back there. So yeah, I've pretty much narrowed it down, I would say, to 2 things. So this standard traveler's notebook, and right now the field notes, with the opportunity once this is filled up, like basically deciding if I want to swap into another field notes or a passport. And honestly, it's kind of going to be like a use what you've got. Like now I have both field notes and passport, so I can kind of pick and choose. But if I only have one, that's what I'm going to move into. So yeah, that is pretty much it. It's much, much simpler than my past techo kaigis. With the new job, I am thinking, because I do have all the A5 covers, I am thinking of using like an A5 Stalogy or some other form of like A5 notebook for work with like a monthly calendar insert type thing. Um, not quite exactly sure, don't really want to show it here, so not really going to be talking about my work planning anyways. So that's just another thing to like think about. Like my work mostly is like note focused, so I don't really need to share it here because the notes are for work. But yeah, it's basically two things in my lineup. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping to be back on a normal schedule. I'm thinking I'm going to do a bullet journal plan with me for July and kind of walk you through my process with what I am doing to set up and go more in depth with that. Um, and then maybe some like weekly plan with me's in the insert as well. And then I might do like another like move in. I might move into make a video dedicated to moving into this insert as well once we get there. So we shall see. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to drop a comment below. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.